Mr. Clegg, thank you for joining us.
No, it's good to be with you, Peter Jan.
I wonder, have you seen this documentary, Social Dilemma? Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it. I read something about it, but I haven't seen it. No.
Well, you should, because it's really an eye-opener for people who are on the internet. Actually, it's a must-see.
Right. Okay. I will. If that's your recommendation, sure. I mean, look, there's a lot of things which are said about the phenomenon of social media on the internet. Some of it is correct, some of it is not correct, and I think it's important when dealing with complex issues like social media and how human beings communicate with each other.
Yeah,
is sometimes not to exaggerate the effect that the machine learning and algorithms that power a lot of these systems have.
Before we discuss this documentary, let me tell the viewers, because not everyone has seen it, obviously. It's about insiders who were in charge at social platforms, for instance Facebook, and they tell us that Facebook is a breeding ground for fake news, for hate speech. It's affecting the fabric of society and ultimately posing a threat to democracies worldwide. I was pretty shocked after seeing that, after hearing this. Are you?
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. If you look, for instance, at what's happening in the United States right now, in the US elections, it's because of Facebook that 2.5 million Americans have been helped to register to vote, who otherwise wouldn't have participated in the election at all. We've seen time and time again, there have been 200 elections since the last US election in 2016. And in election after election after election, it is in fact the online world, not just Facebook, but many other online platforms that allow for free expression and free debate to happen. Of course, there need to be guardrails. Of course, you need to ensure that you clamp down on fake accounts. We now remove millions of fake accounts a day. Last year, would you believe that we removed 6.5 billion fake accounts?
Yeah.
We need to remove speech. All of those things are true. But this caricature that it is a bad thing when people have the freedom to speak to each other and within limits say what they want and when they want, to whom they want.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but that's a very good thing, I think, about social media. There you're right. But the key message is still valid now, I think, that these social platforms and the way they are run, it means the end of a shared truth, a common truth, because algorithms from Facebook provide people with the information they want to see and they want to hear. So there's no common truth anymore. You, as a former politician, you must see the danger to democracy there.
I just don't agree with it, and many academics don't agree with it either. People who've actually studied the relationship between social media and democracy, for instance, just the week before last, a very authoritative study was published by Harvard University, which looked at a particular aspect of misinformation, which is taking place in the United States at the moment, which is about how to vote, whether you vote by mail or in person. I won't bore you with the details, but it was a very important analysis of where does that misinformation come from. And they concluded, these academics, that actually the role of social media was secondary to the mainstream media, particularly the cable TV news channels. So I simply don't accept this assertion.
No, but still the truth is also that various serious incidents keep occurring, Mr. Clegg. Just 2 months ago, two people were killed in Kenosha in the US with you there, after a call to arms on your platform. While users reported this post, it was not instantly removed. 2 people were killed. Can you convince us that your safeguards, the safeguards of Facebook, will prevent such deadly cases in the future?
Again, with respect, you need to be very careful what you say to your viewers. There is no evidence at all that the perpetrator of that violence was even on the Facebook page. There's no evidence at all. So I think you should be very careful about making an assumption that because there was a page which Facebook did remove, you're right, we did not remove it quickly enough, that somehow that there was a relationship between that and the individual who perpetrated the violence. There is no evidence at all that he even looked at the page.
But that's exactly what I said. I said that Facebook did not instantly remove this post. Without going into details here, don't you have, being Facebook, a moral responsibility here? I mean, you bring these people together, you amplify their voices.
I'm just suggesting to you that it's important to be accurate. In the case of Kenosha, we removed the Kenosha page. We should have done it earlier, but there was no evidence that the person who perpetrated the violence, which is what you suggested was the case, actually even looked at the content on the page. Listen, there is no company on the planet that has now invested as much as we have to try and make sure that people are free to say what they want on Facebook, on Instagram, but that there are guardrails, there are limits. We've employed over 35,000 people since 2016. We take down, just in 12 weeks, in the second quarter of this year, we removed 2.2 million pieces of hate speech. And by the way, it's very important when you look at the danger of bad people saying bad things, which they always do. They say it on the telephone, they say it by email, they say it in newspapers. I'm afraid the world is full of bad people as well as good people, full of hate as well as beauty. That is a fact. And of course, that is reflected on Facebook, much as it is on any other form of communication. But I don't think you'll find any other company that does as much to reduce. We will never eliminate.
This is what you said before. But this week, let's have a look. Sorry for interrupting you, Mr. Clegg. But this week, you mentioned the American elections. President Trump called your Facebook terrible because Facebook limited the sharing of critical articles by New York Post about his rival, Joe Biden. Now, without going into details about this particular case, this is a serious accusation. It is that Facebook is openly biased, this is what the President of the United States says, and supports the Democratic camp. So your part is going to be a political one in this case. Doesn't that bother you?
Well, with respect, your questions show the dilemma. You've just asked me some previous questions suggesting we don't do enough. And now you're citing the President of the United States who's saying we're doing too much. In this case, we reduce the distribution of a particular piece of content. You're right, the details don't matter. And that illustrates the issue, which is there are always going to be people who say to Facebook, you're not removing enough content, and another set of people who are saying you're removing too much. So what we do, because we are there to protect not a particular politician or a particular party. What we're there to do is to protect the interests of the billions of users who use our services around the world for free to communicate with each other. What we do is we have a very simple approach. We remove anything where we think there's a connection to real world harm, and we reduce, which is what we did in this instance, we reduce content that may be false or may lead to misinformation. And then we have 70 fact checkers, including 2 in the Netherlands, around the world, working in 50 languages, who help us. They do it independently. They fact check a lot of material. That's the approach we take. I accept there will always be people, as you have just done, who say, on the one hand, you don't do enough, on the other hand, you do too much.
But my point is, Mr. Clegg, that you have become not the friendly place. It's no longer about grandma and the baby pictures. You have become a major political power. You have 2.7 billion monthly users around the world. You are incredibly powerful, especially when these elections are taking place at this moment. And that's what the example shows.
Yes, of course, when politics is played out, whether it's on television, on the newspapers, on radio or online, of course politicians, particularly a few days before an election, get very excitable about whether they think their content is reaching voters or not. And of course we play a responsible role in that. But again, I would urge you not to misrepresent what happens on social media. The vast, vast, vast majority of content on Facebook is innocent, is playful, is positive. It's small businesses in the Netherlands reaching their customers. It is parents organizing a football group for their daughter. It's someone sharing photos of their family bar mitzvah. In fact, the latest the survey I think that was done a few years ago suggests that the total content on Facebook, only around 4% is to do with news and politics and so on.
Still, this leads to criticism, not only in this case from me, it is also the case with politicians in Brussels and also in Washington. It's no surprise, I guess, that there's a new call for stringent laws for platforms like Facebook. We need to protect our data. That's what the politicians say. They say we cannot leave it to Facebook to protect our democracy. They are too big, too powerful.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I 100%. It's time that the politicians move from shouting at the problem or shouting at the issue to actually doing something about it. And I agree with you. I think in 5 to 10 years' time, if we were having this interview, I would be able to point to a number of rules about political advertising in the European Union, rules about data sharing, rules about how data is held and monetized. Of course, look, this is a very young industry. Facebook has only been around for 15 years. Roger Federer, would you believe it, became #1 in world men's tennis the day before Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. And it has had, like all new technologies, it's had an explosive effect. I think the net effect has been very positive because it's empowered and emancipated many people around the world to express themselves in the way that they couldn't before. Yes, you are right to say there is a dark side. There is always a dark side. There's a dark side to human nature, which we have a responsibility to police. But I agree with you that in the long run, the pendulum, if you like, only can come to rest when governments and politicians take up their responsibilities and put in sensible, proportionate rules of the road.
Okay, so that's clear. You welcome the rules that they are preparing now in Brussels and in Washington, but it goes further, Mr. Clegg. You're facing the threat of being torn apart. Maybe it will be the case that they attempt to break up your platform. How about that?
Well, how about that? Well, clearly, if that were to happen, I wouldn't welcome it because I don't think it makes any sense simply because a company is successful to dismember it. I totally accept that because Facebook is so big and so are many of the other big Silicon Valley companies, Apple, Google, Microsoft, and so on, of course, there is a lot of scrutiny which comes with success, and correctly so. With success comes accountability, comes responsibility. I think there is the need for new regulation. But my own view is that it would be a pretty curious thing to tear apart successful companies simply because they've grown successfully over several years.
They are not only successful, but they are also powerful, of course, and that is the point. The point is there are so many people using your platform, 2.7 billion, and I'm only speaking of Facebook itself right now, not of the other operations you have as well. And 2.7 billion is too many, is too big, is too powerful. It should be less.
So what is the number that you think is acceptable?
It's not up to me. It's not up to me.
But no one's going to be able to give you a number. And I'll tell you why not. Because one of the reasons you've got not just major American internet companies, you also have huge Chinese internet companies, ByteDance, Alibaba. These are monster companies, far, far bigger than Facebook, by the way. And the reason for that is because of the internet. This wasn't invented by Mark Zuckerberg. It wasn't invented by Facebook. The internet creates what the economists call network effects, where things grow extremely quickly. Now, my view is, if you want to do something about the things that you have rightly identified, the way in which democracy plays out in the online world, the effect of hate speech and bad material as well as good material appearing online, all of those kind of things, the protection of privacy and data, the answer to that is regulation, not going around trying to split up companies, which, by the way, when you split them up, the different constituent parts will start growing very fast as well. So that is the nature of a business in the online world, in the global internet these days.
So they should hurry. They should hurry. Start making rules in Brussels, in Washington. Well, the two presidential candidates have already said that they want to do that. So this is going to happen. Thank you very much for this interview, Nick Clegg.
Thank you.